episode of Bitches in Business.
Welcome. This reminds me of, remember when she's the man when she goes to meet her principal.
Welcome to Illyria.
Welcome. Love it. Anyways. Happy podcast. This is episode 13, lucky number 13.
Oh.
I am just going to call it right now. It's going to be our best episode yet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have really high hopes.
Okay. Well, let's hope you're right.
I agree. Let's start off with our amazing cocktail.
Yay. Okay. So we are doing today an Aperol Spritz.
Yum. Never had one.
One of my favorite cocktails. It's Italian. It's delicious.
It's orange.
It's orange. It is orange.
I hate oranges, but I am going to give this a try because I know I've tried it before and I like it.
It's very good. Okay. So, I didn't think this through. I might need 2 hands for this cocktail.
This is where the microphone stand. See, Allie has decided that she does not want to use the microphone stand. She's going to try it out for this episode and see what her thoughts are because she enjoys talking into the mic, which is completely fair. I talk with my hands a lot, so I prefer not to have my mic in my hand, but
okay. So, number 1, you take your Aperol. I'm going to do like 1.5 ounces.
Okay. Love. Ooh, look at that lovely color. It's very orange, very bright. This sounds like a very great summer
Why am I
cocktail.
doing this in the most awkward way
I'm not
ever?
really sure. I can move my thing closer to you if you want.
Okay.
All right. Well, let me just fill this time by giving you a little bit of, like as if you were blind. I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening. Allie's then going to pick up the bottle of Prosecco.
Okay, so 1.5 ounces of Aperol, and then we're going to do 3 ounces of Prosecco.
Can you find Aperol in any liquor store?
Pretty much.
And I've also been noticing that Aperol Spritz seem to be more popular on restaurant menus the other day. Fun fact and a small business shout out, the Beyond Beauty Bar in the North End there up by the Brick, they have Aperol Spritz on their drink menu. So when you're getting a pedicure, manicure, any service, they will bring you a drink menu and they have, Caesars, wine, everything. And they have Aperol Spritz, which I found completely shocking because some restaurants don't even have that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. You'll also notice that Allie said to measure out 3 ounces of Prosecco, and then she proceeded to just pour however much she wanted into our glasses.
Well, I figured, it kind of foamed up when it was in the shot glass.
That's fair.
So those are not like really 3 ounces.
That's true.
You know what? These are big glasses. So.
Exactly. So fill her up. Who cares?
And then you top it off with soda.
So topping it off with some soda. Wow. The orange color is absolutely amazing. I can't believe how bright those are.
Then you garnish with an orange slice or wedge or wheel, whatever you want to do. And then use a straw.
Wow.
Paper, of course.
Yes, we're definitely using paper straws.
Absolutely.
These look absolutely amazing. Allie, thank you very much.
Oh.
Yum. Those are very, very delicious. Very refreshing. Great summer cocktail. So we will have that recipe up on our Instagram. All right. So this week, Allie and I are preparing for a garden party that we are hosting on Saturday.
Yes.
We decided that we wanted to follow suit with the Housewives and have our own garden party, which we're very excited about. So we're doing it kind of like derby style, wear your best dress, your hat, your fascinator, come dressed to the nines for Saturday tea. And then I want to do like full tea service. So I've got these really lovely china plates from my great grandmother that we're going to use. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yes. Very excited. We got to plan all the food for that. I ordered a pink fascinator.
You did?
Yes.
From where?
Amazon.
Ooh.
It came also with lace gloves and a pearl necklace and pearl earrings.
Shut up.
So it's a whole outfit.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I will be completely honest and I have no idea what I'm wearing. Because sometimes it's hard for me to switch off my work brain to my personal brain until Friday afternoon. So we'll see how that goes, but I'll pull it together. I'm not too worried about it. If anybody has any ideas of some good food that we can make, please let us know. I think we're going to do obviously tea sandwiches, deviled eggs, cupcakes.
Yeah.
And then kind of do like a little bit of potluck style and see what other people bring. But any good ideas, send them our way.
Yeah.
And mimosas, obviously.
Oh, yes. Maybe an Aperol Spritz.
Ooh, see, that's a good idea because you just bought all the stuff.
I bought
we may
a whole
as well.
bottle of Aperol.
It's very
use
smart.
it.
Okay, well, Aperol Spritzes it is. Also, speaking of the Housewives, Allie's game last week that we played with the Housewives inspired me. So we were talking about the different taglines last week for season 2 of Salt Lake City, and I thought it would be fun to play another game for the Housewives. So sorry for all of you people that don't listen to or don't watch the Housewives, but we're just going to do a quick segment here, and then you can just skip over this and move on if you don't like it. But I thought it'd be funny. So
okay, I'm very excited.
I want to test Allie's knowledge to see if she can match the tagline to who said the tagline. These are all from women in the Real Housewives franchises within the United States. So there's no international ones here. Even though Allie's seen every single franchise anyways, I'm sure she could still get them.
I haven't seen some of the other ones outside the States. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you watched a lot of those.
No, I watched Sydney and Melbourne.
Oh, okay. Well,
Melbourne's very good.
Fair. Anyways, these are all United States ones. So there's 20 of them.
Okay. That might be a lot.
I know it might be. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. But these are not multiple choice or anything. I'm just going to...
I just have to say who said it.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you don't get it right away, I will give you a hint.
Like what city?
What city it is. But that's the only hint you're getting. Okay. And if you don't get it, I'm going to tell you within like 5 seconds. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'll get them all.
I'm pretty sure you will too. First one.
Okay.
I never carry a grudge. It won't match my shoes.
Oh, shit.
Dallas.
Stephanie Holman.
Mm-hmm. I age like a fine wine, and now I'm ready to chill.
Cynthia Bailey.
That's correct. Most people talk about their fantasies. I'm living mine.
Erica Jane.
Technically, it's Erica Girardi, but
okay.
I will accept that answer.
Okay.
These days, I don't throw punches. I roll with them.
Oh,
New Jersey.
I knew it was Jersey. Oh my, Teresa?
Yeah. When life gives me limes, I make margaritas.
Bethany Frankel.
That's correct. The owner and creator of the Skinny Girl Margarita.
Correct.
I'm the baddest thing walking and the smartest one talking.
Giselle Bryant.
That's correct. The tables have turned, and this time I'm dancing on them.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say it. Oh, Shannon Bedore.
That's correct.
Oh, God.
So far, she's 7 for 7. I'm the glue for my wig and my family. I'm going to repeat that one.
Karen Huger.
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
shit.
I am the glue for my wig and my family. Atlanta.
Kim Zolciak? Mm-mm. Holy, I knew it. It's Atlanta.
No.
Oh, my God. Who said that?
Nene.
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 Nene Leakes. Nene.
I don't know.
Her alter ego is Nene.
That's funny. I didn't know that. Nene.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The only thing I'll settle for is more.
Oh, fuck. Dorit.
No, New York.
Oh, my God. Who said that?
Ramona.
Oh, God.
I'm bilingual, but I don't speak BS.
Carrie.
Yep. Karma's a bitch, but luckily I'm on her good side.
Oh, my God. What city?
Potomac.
Ashley Darby.
Yep. How do you know these? I'm a town full of blondes. I'm legally brunette. In a town full of blondes, I'm legally brunette.
Oh my God. What is her name from Orange County? Mm-hmm. Emily Simpson.
Yep. You can stab me in the back, but whilst you're there, kiss my ass.
You have to say it with a British accent? Because it's Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah. I thought the whilst would really give it away.
Yeah.
I can make you laugh or make you cry. Your choice.
That is Margaret Joseph.
Yep. These days, faith, family, and fitness are the only F's I give.
Tamara Judge.
I may put up a tough front, but I'll never leave you behind.
Oh, who is that?
New Jersey.
I might put up a tough front, but I'll never leave you behind.
Yep. It rhymes with a female body part.
Mulva? Dolores Catania.
That is a Seinfeld reference for all of you that have seen Seinfeld. It rhymes with the female body part.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I count my blessings and my checks.
Oh my God.
Atlanta.
Candy.
Yep. My problem with the tabloids, my real life is so much juicier.
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards. The shorter my hair, the shorter my patience.
What?
Potomac.
The shorter my hair. Robin Dixon.
Yep. Last one. If you've got a problem with me, it's your problem. It's New York.
Luann.
No.
Shh.
Dorinda. You did very well
Thank
on those.
you.
I will say that. I'm very, very impressed, Allie.
It's a skill.
I'm just going to have to like step up to your level. But I will say I was like, I knew a couple of those without even seeing kind of who the answer was, but I'm just nowhere near you.
You just got to put in the time.
Apparently. I guess when you watch so many seasons and you see so many people, you start to kind of realize. And it's funny because I've watched maybe about 6 or 7 episodes of Salt Lake City since we filmed last week's episode. And now looking at those taglines back, totally makes sense who says them.
Yeah.
I just don't know how I feel about this show. I'm so into it, but Jen
Whitney.
Shaw is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Beyond.
Beyond is correct for sure.
I just can't wait till you're caught up because like
did you watched obviously the new season
I
came
watched
out on
the
Sunday.
new episode. It was really good.
Oh, I'm very excited.
Really good.
But she hasn't gotten arrested yet.
Okay, so they start off the episode. This is not a spoiler, by the way.
Yeah.
It starts off the episode with basically what happens when she gets arrested.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And then it does like 2 months later or 2 months
Earlier.
What is it?
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I'm very excited. I know I got to catch up and watch it. I'll get there.
Yeah. So I'm really, really excited for this season because I want to see what happens with Jen Shaw. I mean, she hasn't gone to prison yet, but she will.
What I noticed with Salt Lake City compared to Beverly Hills, Salt Lake City just seems a lot more down to earth in a way. Even though there's a lot of like money and parties and frivolous things, you know, there's a woman right away who's dealing with a separation from her husband. They've been married for 24 years and they're getting separated, and their divorce is very front and center on a TV show where they're being forced to talk about things and their friends are asking them questions. And I mean, that's kind of a big deal for your first season of being on a reality TV show, and that's going on in your life.
Yeah.
You know, and so it kind of seems like a bit more relatable sometimes than Beverly Hills does because there's not so much flashy. Like, it's not really about, big cars and all this big stuff, you know?
Well, I mean, there is that too.
Yeah.
And then there's like Mary Cosby in her closet, which is just bizarre.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, God.
She's crazy.
She is nuts. I saw this video of her on TikTok in her confessional, and she looks just crazy. Her confessional outfit for season 2 is just weird.
Over the top.
Weird. And she's making the weirdest facial expressions. But what she's saying is so
I know it's
reasonable.
It's kind of, like it's just kind of funny almost that like I think when you're on TV, you almost just become a personality, even though you're not really meaning to be, even though that's just you. I think it's just because you're on TV and then you start to kind of exaggerate some of those things or play into those things a little bit too, right? Because you become known as something, or you become known to have these traits, right? So then you just kind of, you really feed into that. But anyways, I'm excited for this season.
Yeah, I cannot wait. So you're caught up.
I know. I'm getting there. Slowly getting there.
Yeah.
Any hosiers. So as Marcus always says, any whore. I found a very interesting article yesterday that I wanted to kind of read to you and see what your thoughts were on it. So this is from May, so a few months ago, obviously, but it was talking a lot about recreational properties within Canada and just the different trends that they've been seeing throughout Canada and what purchasing looks like. So is in talking about how because of the demand that we're seeing right now in urban centers and the increase in prices, a lot of that has started to migrate into recreational markets as well. As people start to find that it's too expensive to live within the city centers, they start to source outside of that, or they start to kind of put their money into maybe recreational properties as well, especially because of COVID. Having somewhere that you can escape to if you can't go on vacation is obviously really beneficial. So despite the rising demand in the market, 57% of Canadian recreational markets saw an average price below 500 grand. So it was a good market to get into because the prices aren't going as crazy as the regular house market is within the cities. Furthermore, 57% of RE/MAX agents, it was a RE/MAX article, in recreational markets anticipate. So what I'm very intrigued.
Don't say that word.
Oh, sorry. Well, this is where I got this article from. They anticipate single-digit price growth over the remainder of 2021. So they don't foresee that recreational market is going to like skyrocket necessarily. So it's a good time to get into that market if that's something that you're looking into.
Okay. And is this Canada wide? Where is this article based out of?
Well, it was talking a lot about like BC, Alberta, Manitoba, and Ontario specifically. And then it would break down specific spots within those regions. So for instance, it was talking about how they were talking about Tofino and Hewlett on here. So I'll get to that. More than half of these people that were surveyed plan to purchase a recreational property within the next year. And 59% of those are first-time home buyers, or sorry, first-time recreational buyers. So that's a pretty large percentage of people. 21% of Canadians are looking to recreational markets after being priced out of the urban centers. And because of low borrowing rates, it's working in their favor. There's a lot of people that are then just increasing their opportunity and willing to buy, obviously. The survey also found that 11% of Canadians were searching for a recreational property prior to the pandemic and are still searching. And that 15% of people who weren't searching before are now trying to get into that market. And we see that just within my business as well. A lot of customers that are coming in have recently purchased a property on Mudge, Hornby, Salt Spring, wherever. So we see a lot of people. It seems like within the last 6 months, we've seen an increase of customers coming into us saying that they've recently purchased a property. Do you find that you hear that within the market as well? Like, do you deal with a lot of recreational stuff? I guess not within NIMO.
No, because we don't have a ton of recreational properties here locally. The closest thing we would have would be in Parksville, like Resort Drive. And I do see a ton of people who are interested in Resort Drive in particular. So like Tinamera, Beach Acres, Sunrise Ridge has a ton of brand new units. They've expanded. So, but there's definitely some challenges associated with purchasing a recreational property depending on how it's zoned. I know for Resort Drive in particular, they're zoned commercially. So you're not going to qualify for a traditional mortgage because it's zoned commercial. You can't get a residential mortgage. So you have to either pay cash or you can get a commercial loan, but the interest rates are
a lot higher.
They're different than a regular mortgage, and you have to, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe you have to have more money down. Like you're going to need.
You can't do your standard 5%. No. You need to have,
No, and you can't do 5% anyway unless it's your principal residence.
I see. Interesting. I didn't realize that the mortgages would be different. And I didn't realize that those were zoned as commercial properties.
Yes, those ones in particular are. They're also, the way that the zoning works is you can only live in the unit for 6 months out of the year.
Right. Yeah, and that's pretty standard, like with RVs as well, because we sell park models through Gordon's, and that's a very big thing that we have to advise customers. You can't just buy a park model and put it wherever you want and plan on living in it all year, because it's considered an RV or a recreational vehicle. Yeah. There's different bylaws. Yeah, that makes sense. You don't need a permit to put it anywhere, but you can't live in it with bylaws. So that's very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't venture out towards Tofino or Ucluelet because that's just not my area of expertise. It's too far away. So I can't give good advice on that. But I have heard that the prices have gotten crazy higher there.
Yeah. So we've been seeing actually a lot of customers lately from Tofino and Ucluelet. And what we've been hearing a lot is the bylaws there are very interesting, and they require different building permits than a lot of other places. So we've had customers before that'll come and they've purchase a piece of property in Tofino specifically, and the bylaws and the strata have very specific rules on what you can do, very specific building schemes, and then their bylaws for permitting is very different. So most municipalities require a building permit for anything over 106.7 square feet. Tofino is 100 square feet, so it's very different, and they have different like height rules, what the kind of structure is and what you're using it for, you know, how many structures you have on your property, that kind of stuff, which is unfortunate because Tofino is also really hurting for housing for their staff.
Absolutely.
So they really rely on staff to come from outside of Tofino to work there, especially in the seasonal months. And then they don't have anywhere to house any of these people. So we get a lot of customers coming to try and have us help them with housing developments, but then they get caught up in red tape because of the planning side of things, which is so ridiculous. You know, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's the prerogative, I suppose, but it's kind of interesting. So yeah, I don't know if I saved that part of the article because, oh, sorry. So it was talking about how Tofino, Ucluelet, and Niagara regions specifically are experiencing low inventory levels, bidding wars, and sky high prices.
Yep, absolutely.
So there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, which makes sense. So, I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I guess if you want to have a recreational property, you have to kind of pick and choose where that goes and then deal with those restraints because of that. Right. So I know Mudge Island, I noticed about last year, there was a lot of property available on Mudge Island to buy for really, really cheap prices. Yeah. But it's so difficult to get over there. It's hard to bring materials over there. You know, they're only just starting to get cable and telephone systems over there. And then a lot of the times the building permits and the planning department can be really difficult because they just don't, not a lot of people have built stuff over there yet. Right.
Yeah. So, well, you can only access it by boat. There's no ferry service over there.
And there's no ramp there either. Like it's basically just like a concrete slab ramp that they use. Yeah. So you can't just bring like any boat up there. It's very difficult. We have customers that ask us to bring stuff over there all the time, and it can be really challenging. There's a guy named PI Supply, and he's got a really great boat that he can take stuff over to Mudge, but it's like you can only go on specific days, specific times because of the tide, and you can only take certain stuff over there.
What a hassle.
I know. But if you want to live off grid, that's what you get. Right. So it's kind of funny. You get certain people that live on the Gulf Islands and they're like, yeah, not a problem. I mean, I completely understand how difficult it is. And I know it's going to be expensive because we have to pay for everything. Yeah. And then you get other people that they're like, really? You can't deliver to Pender Island for $200? And it's like, do you know how long it takes to get back and forth from Pender Island?
Oh my God.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Give me a break.
I know. I mean, don't you pay like extra for absolutely everything? So yeah. Anyways, that's my rant about the Gulf Islands.
Okay.
Anyways, which leads me to my next thing. Okay. I was telling Allie that I wanted to start doing a segment every week about top 5 things. Right. So I wanted to start doing things, and I'm very open to viewer suggestions on this. Okay. Things like, top 5 hikes to do on the island. Top 5.
I won't be covering that one.
Allie will not be partaking in that one. Top 5 restaurants to eat, the best seafood on the island.
I could help with that.
The top 5 Caesars on the island. Things like that. Okay. So because we were just talking about my business a little bit, I thought that the best thing thing to do would be to start off with the 5 reasons that you should buy from PacRim log structures.
Wow. Okay.
Little plug for PacRim. So for those of you who don't know, I'm the operations manager for PacRim log structures. We are a retailer of prefabricated log structure kits, and we are, in my opinion, the fastest growing retailer in Western Canada, if not Canada. We're lucky that we don't have a whole lot of competition, especially in BC, of our products. So it is a very niche product, and we do service a lot of BC with our models. The great thing about our stuff is that we have such a variety of options, and that's kind of one of my first things that I was going to talk about was just versatility. So we offer from 2 major suppliers. We order from 2 major suppliers in Europe, both in Estonia, and they source their own sustainably harvested, high quality Nordic spruce that they make all of their units from. They have catalogs with over 400 different models and different products that they offer, and we can pick and choose whatever we want to bring in. So when PacRim was first started, we didn't know a whole lot about the different suppliers, and it took a lot of research and a lot of time to figure out what the best stuff to order was and where we should get those from and what people like. And now we've kind of really developed a great line of products, and we're always adding to those things. So great thing about our stuff is because we can bring in so many different options. Our models aren't just suited for one thing. They're great for storage, garages, studios, cabins, guest cabins, she sheds, man caves, saunas, hot tubs, you name it. And we're always trying to bring in new things to add to that product line. I was just looking at a supplier yesterday out of Saskatoon that have these really neat like pellet fed patio heaters. So if you're off grid and you can't always have, propane coming with you all the time, it's a lot more cheaper to bring in these pellets, and then you can have a patio heater with you all year round. That's a really good idea. Yeah, which is really cool. And when you think about it, I mean, I would argue this. I don't know what the actual facts are of this, but I would assume that maybe pellets are less environmentally harmful than propane is. I'm not positive on that, but I'm sure that you could find, more environmentally friendly options rather than with a propane heater. I mean, you can only use propane, right? Yeah. So, so that's a big one, is just versatility. Our current collection has a lot of different things that we've never brought in before, and we're currently looking for our spring collection as well. And I know I've talked about a little bit about it before, but like our barbecue huts, and we've got this new kiosk that's really cool, like for campgrounds and ball fields and things like that. Another one is just the unique design. So prefabricated construction is not really widely used in North America. It's really big throughout the rest of the world. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but there's lots of videos on YouTube where you can see, like, for instance, in China, prefabricated hospitals. It's really easy for them just to come and build a hospital within like a week.
Well, they did that at the start of COVID.
Exactly. Like there was a video that was circulating at the start of COVID of them coming and setting up this whole hospital in a matter of hours. Yeah. And they were able to have a fully functioning facility, all due to just panel wall systems. And that's really big with like concrete. There's a few things using big concrete panels and doing whole like houses or whole buildings, doing it that way. And 3D printing is another one. They can actually like 3D print wall panel systems. I also saw a company today called Hempcrete, and they actually make formed hemp sheets that you can use as building materials, installation material, that kind of stuff. So prefabrication is obviously not a new way of construction, but there's a lot of applications that the rest of the world's using that you don't really see a whole lot in Canada. And so for our product, our entire kit comes with all of your material that's pre-cut, pre-measured, precision cut, ready to go. It's high quality milled tongue and groove. So all you have to do is open up your kit, all the hardware is in there, and everything just clicks together nice and easy. Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I wouldn't know how to build a shed and going to slag and having to, buy all of my lumber and measure it all out and design this this model and make sure that it's structurally safe and that the roof is going to not fall in, right? And then you get home and then you have everything you need, and it turns out you don't actually have everything that you need, and then you miscut something and you have to constantly go back and forth. Where our kit, you just open it up, everything that you need is in it, and you can be building something realistically within 1 to 2 days, depending on what the model is, right?
Cool.
Third thing is affordability. So especially, we all kind of saw this at the start of COVID and into COVID, how expensive lumber got.
Oh God. I mean, absolutely.
I think I saw something that was like, if you wanted to build a deck 2 years ago, it was $900, and then mid COVID, it was $3,500.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It was ridiculous. We're so fortunate because we import our product that we can secure a price point before it ships. So we know what that price is going to be. And we didn't really start to see the effects of lumber pricing until about a year into COVID. So it wasn't until this January that we actually saw our first price increase from the factory. So, you know, you could go to Home Depot and pay $90 a sheet for plywood, and yet our models, there's no way that you could build a shed for the price that we were paying or that we were charging you for, right? So just in terms of like affordability, we've been able to really secure that price point and offer a very high quality premium product for a really affordable price point, which is great. Fourth thing is convenience. So a lot of the times, especially with off-grid, and I mean, we were just talking about it on the Gulf Islands. Let's say you live on Ruxton Island. There's no way you're getting stuff over there. No. All of your building materials, your trusses, concrete, everything that you need to build this cabin or build your house. Well, all of our material comes flat packed on a really great, pallet. It's strapped, wrapped in a thick tarp paper. Everything you need is there.
How convenient.
It's very convenient. And then we do all the hard work for you. So we put together all of your extra materials and everything, and then we can just ship it all at the same time in one easy go, and everything that you need is right there. And you don't have to worry about, how much insulation do I need? What kind of roofing do I need? We take care of all that kind of stuff for you. So in terms of like stress, I mean, you get a lot of customers that come in and they go, I have no idea how to do this kind of stuff. I don't know how to build a shed or what I need or what to figure out. We take care of all of that for you. And then you know that from the time that you get it to the time that it's built, that's all you have to do is just build it, right? Which is really helpful for a lot of people. And then the last thing is just longevity. So obviously there are lots of different products on the market in terms of sheds or cabins, sheds mostly. And, you could go to Walmart or Costco or Home Depot and buy a plastic shed for, a quarter of the price maybe, but that's only going to last you about 5 years. It's not going to have great snow load. It's going to be warped by the sun. It's going to fall over. Snow load. Do you find that funny,
yes.
Allie? Where our models, just because of the style of construction and the premium quality of the wood, this is an investment. This is adding value to your property, to your home. This is something that you're going to put your time and money into, and it's going to give you rate of return in, endless, copious amounts, especially if you're someone like a campground or a municipality or a resort, or where you can actually rent something like that out and actually get a rate of return from it. I mean, why not? So those are my 5 reasons why you should shop with PacRim Lock Structures and consider them for your next project.
Wow.
I know.
How informative.
Incredibly. I mean, it's very easy to talk about things that you're passionate about, obviously, absolutely. And that you know a lot about. So that's really helpful. And now Allie has to decide what her 5 things are going to be next week, because we're going to swap off and come up with 5 things. So please tell us if there are things that you are interested in or would like more information about or would like to learn more about. We're gonna give you the goods. Crack myself up.
Yeah. Oh my God. Have you seen that TikTok video with the guy from Lizzie McGuire, her little brother?
Okay. Yes.
And it's they're interviewing him when he's on Lizzie McGuire that age, and they're like, "What are you most excited about this movie?" They're at a movie premiere, and he's like, "Well, I'm most excited about cracking up because." I haven't cracked up in a really long time, so I'm just really excited about cracking up.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I love TikTok. That TikTok that you sent me today of that guy who pretends to be the server. He obviously has worked in the service industry because a lot of his videos that he does.
What is his name?
I have no idea.
I want to get it right because
it's Bistro Buddy or Huddy or Bistro Huddy, I think is his name. So he has obviously worked in the industry for a long time because a lot of his videos are all just about working in a restaurant or working in the industry.
Drew Talbert.
There you go. He's so funny. And so a lot of his videos are very cute if you've worked in the industry. He hits everything very spot on and can absolutely...
So funny.
Yeah, he can really portray what all of us are feeling. So this one today was so cute.
Yeah.
I'll have to post it on our story.
Yeah. Well, I think it's on your story.
It's on my personal one, but I'll have to post it on the podcast page. But yeah, it's really cute. He just basically talks about how, you always get those annoying customers that not want to take advantage of you, but they want something for free. And so he talks about how he's like, I'm sorry, but I'm really going to have to charge you for that extra cheese. And the customer goes, well, last time I was here, I didn't have to pay for that.
Here, I'll just play it.
Oh, perfect.
Hopefully this will sound okay on the mic.
We'll see how that goes.
Sir, extra cheese is $2.
Well, they didn't charge me last time.
Oh, thank you. Then I'll also have to charge you for last time.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. I'm also going to have to charge you for last time.
There's he has so many funny videos. He'll just put on a wig. He won't put on makeup or anything. He's just doing a girl and he'll be like, do you guys have any fries?
Or when you're rolling celery and you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, that's so interesting. Cool. Yeah. Can I have some fries?
Oh my
Flirting
God.
with the kitchen staff to get fries.
The only time you flirt with the kitchen staff is to get fries.
100%. No, just joking. All of you kitchen people that we're friends with, we love you. Except we really just wanted fries. There wasn't always an ulterior motive, but we also love you. Okay, so I told Allie that I was gonna ask her a few questions because I thought it would be interesting just to kind of have a bit of a discussion or a bit of a debate. So I thought that every week we could pose a couple questions to each other and see what our thoughts are and see how other people relate to them. So Allie, why don't you answer this first? How have you had to adapt your business model or way of thinking due to the pandemic?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for asking.
Can I just say this reminds me of when I was in Miss Nanaimo and we were at our pageant and they would ask us questions and we'd have to be like, oh yes, thank you so much, speaker. I would say that and you'd have to repeat the question back to them. It was ridiculous. Okay, go.
Okay. Well, luckily I'm with EXP and we were already a cloud-based brokerage. So in that regard, didn't have to change a damn thing.
Interesting.
So, EXP doesn't have a physical office. Our team has an office because we choose to have an office. But a lot of EXP agents just work out of their home already. So, didn't have to switch that at all. Mm-hmm. Everything that we need is already in the cloud. We have virtual assistants. Our transaction coordinators are all online. We have a weekly meeting for all of BC EXP agents, and that is online through a program called EXP World. And so we have these really great collaborative meetings all through the cloud.
Oh, so interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Whereas other brokerages will have a weekly meeting and it's in person. And then, they had to learn how to use Zoom and all that stuff. We didn't have to do anything different.
And that's one of the reasons why you joined EXP in the first place, wasn't it? Because that's kind of the way that the future of the real estate world is
absolutely
gonna go.
Yeah, in that regard, nothing was different. It definitely, I had to pivot my personal business model in the regard of starting out. I'm like, I want to host an open house at least once a week, if not, Saturday and Sunday. I wanted to do at least one open house a week. We were not allowed to do open houses for well over a year. So in that regard, it's a really great way of gaining buyers somewhat. I mean, you kind of have to sift through the garbage of the looky-loos and that type of thing. But I mean, in that regard, I definitely wasn't... It wasn't when I started my real estate career, this is not the way that I kind of anticipated it to go.
Yeah.
I also had plans of, golfing and socializing with people at the golf course. Yeah. Networking and, chatting with people who own homes in the area. And obviously with COVID, I wasn't able to do that. So, I mean, in that regard, yeah, it's been a struggle. And I mean, even just networking with other agents in person, because there was tour Tuesdays where you would go, and it was like a realtor open house on Tuesdays, and you would go look at new listings that people had to offer, and you would meet new people. Whereas like I went to an open house, a realtor open house like a month ago, and I didn't know anybody there. So I would introduce myself to all these other realtors, and like I knew them because I had been messaging with them for like, inquiring on their listings and stuff for the last year and a half. And I just didn't know what they actually look like. So it's like, oh, hi, I'm finally meeting you for the first time, even though like we've talked so many times
over the last couple of years. Yeah. That's kind of it is a strange way of doing business. Yeah.
Whereas like my business partner, Kate, used to work at a different brokerage in person. So she knew a bunch of people from that brokerage, and so she goes up to everybody at the party and she's like, hey, like she just knows everybody, and I'm like, hey, you have to introduce me, I don't know any of these people. And she's just like, what? You don't know them?
But you've been doing business with them, but just in a different capacity.
Oh, absolutely. There's lots of agents that I have actually done a deal with that I have never met.
That's the same with our business too. Yeah. Because a lot of it's done over the phone or over email. Yeah. So a lot of people you don't even get to see.
No, like not even for key handoff. It's like, okay,
it's in the box.
It's in a lockbox, or, it's just at the front desk of their office. So like, yeah, I am in that regard. Like connecting with other agents has been a bit of a struggle during COVID. So I'm just looking forward to hopefully putting this all behind us and getting back to normal.
Well, and I think you raise a really good point about how EXP already had a great business model that was able to function regardless of COVID. And I think that was one thing that call centers specifically really did well too, is that they were able to take all of those people, bring them home, and they could still do their work from home, which reduces all of your overhead. And that was the same for me when COVID first happened and we went into lockdown. I brought my whole desk home. Mm-hmm. We use voice over internet phones. We take all of our payments online, mm-hmm. and we do most of our business over email and over the phone anyways. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter where you're working from.
Exactly.
And from a business standpoint, it makes more sense. Why would you pay for an office, utilities, mm-hmm. office equipment, all this stuff, when your employees could essentially work from home and do everything they need to do, and the business would still keep running? You wouldn't mm-hmm. even notice anything. Yeah. So yeah, that's very forward thinking of you for getting involved in an organization that was already doing that, and then look at how it benefited you anyways.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have to do anything. It was mm-hmm. pretty seamless.
Yeah. I know it's kind of interesting. You and I have a very similar perspective, I would say, on our first kind of 2 years into our new career, because we both made an industry change and made a career change around the same time. And then COVID hit, and I mean, I did not foresee this going how it went for myself either when I made that jump, right? So but I mean, I would say that it's definitely benefited you, and you've just had to find new ways to cope with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking forward to starting open houses again.
Yeah. So how do you go about, like, do you just decide to just plan an open house? Like when you have a house that you're listing, you just say to a client, this is when I want to do an open house. Does that work for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, you can host your own open house for your own listing. You can't represent any potential buyers though.
Right.
So ideally, I mean, you have to, if you're going to host an open house, it has to be a listing that is from your brokerage.
Gotcha.
So I can't do an open house for, I don't want to name a name.
Yeah.
But anyone within EXP, I can do an open house for them. And then that benefits me, because then, if somebody comes in, they're like, I want to buy this house, I can represent them.
Right. Okay. So you could say to one of your team members, hey, do you guys have any houses that are coming up soon that I could do an open house for? And then you could do an open house. Well, not on my team,
because if you're on a team, you're basically considered one agent.
Oh, so I see.
Yeah. So, I mean, if Dean has a listing, I can't represent a buyer for his listing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's considered a conflict of interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. But any other brokerages that are part of EXP you could do?
The brokerage is EXP. So like
Gotcha, okay.
another agent, our different team within
Gotcha.
EXP, I can do that.
And there are other teams within Nanaimo that are part of EXP, right?
Lots.
Oh, okay.
Some of the biggest teams that I'm not going to name names.
I see. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that. I'd say you've adapted very well, Allie.
Thank you.
I mean, you have to keep yourself always looking for new opportunities, right? And just new ways and new perspectives.
Yeah. How's that Aperol Spritz?
It's very delicious.
It is very good.
Even though I'm not a huge orange fan, it is very refreshing. I will say that.
I like how the straws are orange too.
I specifically picked those
fit the theme.
so that they would fit the theme. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of give you my answer. I wrote it down, so I just thought I'll read part of it. So pre-COVID, we would carry a large amount of stock on our property, and then we could easily just order whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
If a customer requested something specific, we would build a container order, and then it would usually ship out a few weeks later, and it would take about 4 to 6 weeks to come in.
Okay. Quick.
Very quick, especially when you're ordering something from Europe. I mean, that is really quick and a premium product. Usually the only things that really got in our way were if a strike happened at the Port of Montreal, but that was maybe every few containers we saw that, and otherwise it would land here, no problem. Typically, customers weren't really waiting too long for that kind of stuff, especially if we had it in stock. We could essentially do next day delivery. But then, of course, if they had to bring it in, it was about a month turnaround time. That's not bad.
Yeah.
When COVID happened, we managed to make it through a great deal of COVID without really feeling like we had been affected by it too much. I think I was also kind of a bit naive because I thought wow, this hasn't really affected us. We haven't seen a price increase. We're still getting our stuff. This is awesome. I ordered a lot of stuff coming into the winter time at the end of 2020 in the hopes of selling it in 2021. And everyone thought I was crazy because we had all this stuff and we were scared of holding on to it. And then 2021 happened and we completely sold out of product in March, which was not expected. And then of course we had a really hard time getting new things. So at the beginning of 2021, we started facing a lot of challenges and they just started coming to us in greater and greater amounts. And it was a lot of hurdles that we had to jump through. So between February and June, we saw a 60% increase in our pricing, which is astronomical. We sold out of product and we went from receiving containers within 4 to 6 weeks to 6 months.
Oh my God.
So I have stuff that I ordered in February that I still haven't gotten and I likely will not get for a couple more weeks or into November and December, which is crazy. So it's really made us have to look at things differently. Importing stuff is very difficult. You deal with a lot of language barriers, lack of product, shipping challenges, time differences. So anything that I have to send multiple emails throughout the day and then I don't get an answer usually until 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And if I'm not looking at my emails or responding to them right away, then I don't get to respond until the next day. And then nothing happens until the next day.
Right.
So it takes a really long time to even get a simple answer about something. And it was a lot of trial and error trying to learn about how everything worked. Port strikes, lack of containers, lack of space on ships. It was kind of starting to feel like things were just coming to us almost every single day, and we really had to adapt our business model and way of thinking because of that. But COVID almost kind of forced us to create processes and change our marketing strategy, change our ordering strategy, look at trends, and make those decisions a lot faster than we probably would have before COVID. Things that probably could have taken a couple of years to implement, we had to do in a matter of weeks. And it caused a lot of stress on our team because of that, because you're constantly feeling like every day the information is changing and you're making decisions based on that, or you're telling customers one thing and then it turns out, oh no, we can't get that now. And, customers are upset and you feel like you're letting people down when, you're just doing what you can with the information that you have. So it kind of made us reassess what the environment was and change what our buying strategy was and how we wanted to kind of run our business. So we're now really focusing on trends specifically and trying to think 6 months ahead at all time, and creating our own fate. Basically, we're making our own fate by proactively ordering and deciding what we're going to bring in and what's going to be popular. Because that's the other problem. You look through a catalog of 400 different things and decide what you think that people are going to want, and then decide what you think they're going to want 6 months from now. You know, and how many to bring in, and if it's going to work, and if it's going to be a great product, and if the price is right. And there's no way of knowing that until people actually physically see it and then decide. And then you sell out of it, and you can't get more for months because you don't know if people are going to like it or not. So it's a constant kind of merry-go-round, it feels like. So we've just started to think more like in seasons now, and we're calling them like our collections. Like I feel like a fashion designer that we have like, this is our fall collection. This is all we're going to get this year. And if you want to special order something, that's fine, but it's probably going to be 4 to 6 months before you get it. And you have to be okay with that. Otherwise, this is all we have. And we're not going to just like add on another container just because this is a designated amount that we're bringing in, and we can control that. And it helps with cash flow and everything too, right? So we can kind of control the product, and it reduces a lot of our stress. So I think COVID was really beneficial for our business in a lot of ways, but it really just made us have to adapt a lot quicker, you know, and then just change your way of thinking in the sense that like, you can't take that kind of stuff personally. Like, you know, I really don't like disappointing people. So you then just kind of have to get ahead of it, right? And that's hard in an industry that you've never been in before.
And we're from the service industry, so like we're basically just taught to say yes.
Well, exactly.
Everything is yes.
And imagine somebody's like, "Hi, can I have a burger?" And you're like, "Oh, sorry, you can't have that for a few weeks." Sorry, we're out of it. We're out of it for a few weeks. I mean, that would just never happen. Right. But imagine if all of a sudden our main supplier was no longer able to provide you with half of your menu. I mean, that's like unheard of. And then you have to try and find new stuff, and it's way more expensive, and no one wants to pay that price for it. And it's just, you know, so it was definitely a lesson, I think, just in business practices and implementing policies and how to make the best decisions for yourself. I mean, I don't know if I told you this, but we had a third supplier that we were ordering from of some really great product that we really liked. And they required us to pay for everything up front, where our other suppliers, they don't require payment until after it's already shipped. So we get, you know, all of our documentation, the weigh bills, we know it's on a ship, no problem. 60 days after that, hopefully it's come into Canada by then, which isn't always the case, but hopefully you've received it, and then you get to pay it. Well, this new supplier, they wanted us to pay 50% upon ordering so that they could manufacture your product. And then they wanted the remainder of the balance paid prior to shipping. Well, that's really scary, because then you don't know what you're actually getting. You don't know if it's actually going to ship out. And then of course what started to happen was, our first order that we did with them, we paid that, no problem. We're like, okay, yeah, no problem. Like we're excited about it. Can't wait. Oh, well, we can't find a container. We can't get a space on a ship. Oh, it'll ship out in a couple weeks. Yeah, couple more weeks. Sorry, we're just having some challenges. Couple more weeks. It's going to ship out. And it ended up being, it's going to be 32 weeks by the time that I actually get those units from the time that I ordered. So that's 8 months. Like I could have gotten pregnant and almost had a kid by the time that I actually get this thing. Okay. So then our second order was supposed to ship out, and we just started feeling like we weren't really confident in if those models were even going to come, if the containers were actually going to ship out. I mean, how do you know at that point? And there's no urgency from somebody who has all your money. They don't care when it ships out. They don't care that you have customers that want that stuff. So we had to make a really hard decision on if we were going to, you know, pay the remainder of that balance and then wait and not know when it was going to come or if it was going to come. And what if it gets here and it's not even what you ordered? So we had to make the decision to cancel our order and then cancel some of our customers' orders because of it, which was a really difficult thing to do. But we were trying to keep our customers' best interests at heart. And then unfortunately, a lot of people have been very like, thank you so much for doing that. We really appreciate the decisions that you had to make and appreciate keeping our best interests,
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's like, it feels so shitty to do that because you want to please people.
Yeah.
That's what we've been like ingrained in,
Totally.
So anyways, It just is what it is.
Yeah. I just want to say, on a personal level, what COVID has taught me is like how important my friendships are. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, before COVID, I'm like, yeah, I love my friends. And then it's like, whatever. I don't need to hang out with them all the time.
Sure. Yeah. You can still be friends with people, but just because you don't see each other every day or every couple of weeks, you can still kind of fall back into that.
Yeah, totally. So like, I think COVID has really taught me that like having good friends is so important. And whether you see them in person or not, like it's really important to catch up
and maintain that friendship.
Yeah.
Yep. I would say that's accurate. Yeah. And I think you just start to kind of see the people that are worth staying friends with.
Absolutely.
I mean, they say that you become most like the 5 people that you spend your life with, and as you get older, of course, your friend group really starts to shrink and you start to find those people that you're the most close with and that you want to spend your time with. And I would agree with you. Like, I would say COVID I've definitely cultivated my closest friendships the most during
I think we're
COVID.
closer than ever.
I agree with you. I don't remember who I was talking to about this the other day. Maybe Jeremy. And that's what I kind of said. Like, we were always friends before. I mean, we worked with each other and we would always go to each other's birthdays and hang out after work sometimes and all that kind of stuff. But it's not like we talked every day like we do now. And then it wasn't until I think we both kind of started a new industry, and then I would say COVID is definitely when we first started getting a lot closer, and now we talk every single day. And I can't imagine not talking to you every day.
And I love you.
I know, and I love you too. And but I like that, and we're very like-minded. And the more that we spend time with each other, I think we start to really realize how similar we actually are.
We have. I feel like we have the same values.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I think that you COVID and just everything that's happened in the last 2 years, there was a lot of political things going on in the world, and there's a lot of changes. I know, but I think you do start to realize the people that do share your values, and at the end of the day, that's what makes you you. Yeah. And then you start to kind of gravitate more towards those people because you're like-minded individuals, right? So yeah, I would say that that's a good point. I mean, I think with COVID for me, this is just something I've been kind of dealing with for a few years. I take a lot of things personally because I'm just so passionate about a lot of things. And so I'm really trying to learn that there are a lot of things that are out of our control.
Absolutely.
And that at the end of the day, that's not always a reflection on who you are as a person. Yeah. And to not take those things so internally all the time, and that it's important to be self-aware about yourself and constantly be growing and learning and changing. But sometimes there are just things that happen that you can't do anything about.
Absolutely.
But I think as long as you can recognize those things and, do better and have some kind of recognition of what that is and a measurement of what that is. Jeremy and I talk about this a lot because he says things like he just wants to do better. He just wants to be better. He wants to be perfect. And I keep explaining perfect is an immeasurable tool. You can never be perfect because what is that? And so then I keep saying to him, okay, it's great that you want to be better, but what does better actually mean to you? Give me something tangible that you can equate that to, because if you don't, you're never ever going to then feel like you've gotten better, because that bar is constantly raising because there's no actual tangible goal that you're working towards. And so I think sometimes during COVID too, I just kind of realized like, it's okay sometimes to just like sit at home and not do anything.
Absolutely.
You don't let yourself feel like you're not being your best self or being productive or being great because you do things like that.
Exactly. Well, self-care takes all different forms, and whether that means you sit on the couch and watch 12 episodes of Housewives in a day.
Exactly.
That's what you need to do sometimes. If you take a bath, take a nap, whatever, and don't beat yourself up because you're being perceived as lazy or whatever.
Yes, and that's it. See, and I get into that trap sometimes because I think social media, and I've harped on this before, because you constantly are seeing what other people are doing and how they're living their lives and the goals that they're achieving and the things that they're doing. And you can start to feel like, well, why aren't I doing those things? And then you feel bad about yourself because you spent all day watching 7 episodes of Friends. And it's like, well, who cares?
Yeah.
If that's what you need to take a break and give your mind a break sometimes, that's fine. And you need to self-care yourself.
Absolutely.
And whatever that looks like is what it looks like. It's the reason why I don't really feel that bad about eating like half an ice cream cake sometimes. Because I've never eaten half an ice cream cake. I'm just saying. Sometimes I feel bad because of like how much like sugar I eat or junk I eat or whatever. And other times it's like, you know what? I don't care. Like, this is what I need right now to make me feel happy. So I need a little serotonin. Okay?
Exactly. Just don't do it every single day.
I know. Sometimes I feel that way. I think because of like grieving as well. Like grieving about my dad. Yeah. My grandma, my poor grandma, every time she like talks about my dad, she starts to cry. Yeah. Anything, she starts to cry. And I feel bad because I'm not like that. Like, I get some moments where I'm like a complete disaster, bawling in my bed because something that I've watched on TV has made me like just lose it. But that's like my own style of grieving. And then I feel bad sometimes because I'm not as like open with it, I guess, or I'm not as public with it, and I don't cry just at the drop of the hat talking about him. But that's just my own way of grieving.
Oh yeah, everybody grieves in a totally different way, and there's no
wrong way.
There is no wrong way. Totally. Absolutely.
And so I think you can't like feel bad about your emotions because that's just who you are. Yeah. That's how you deal with those things, and that's how you accept those things. And so don't feel bad for feeling happy about something or feeling sad about something or crying or being mad or whatever. Like, accept those things and then use them for something good, you know? Yeah.
I mean, look at Jackie Schimmel. Her mom died, and she makes jokes about it all the time.
Oh, I don't know if I've realized that, actually.
I mean, I think there's a little bit of repression there because I don't really think that she allows herself to feel those things. But like, for instance, she'll get an email in May being like, treat your mom to a new
Mother's
candle.
Day.
And she'll reply and be like, thanks, my mom is dead.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
Okay, well, that is a little bit of repression, I would say.
Much.
But yeah, we've been watching Ballers, and one of the main characters, his wife died, not on the show, like prior to the show, part of his character story. Yeah. But that's what he does. He makes jokes about it constantly, and it's kind of to the point where it's like, this is a bit much that this is like part of the storyline, you know? Yeah. But you can understand how that's part of his character, that he doesn't feel his emotions. Yeah. He never lets himself feel certain emotions. He's always moving on from a failure or whatever to the next thing, and there's no actual like dealing with that.
It'll all bubble to the surface if you do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you just have to
feel your emotions.
You have to let it out.
It's fine. If you want to sit and eat an entire bag of Boom Chicka Pop popcorn, you do that. And if you want to go and have a shower and cry, it's all right. Yes. I always feel bad after I do that, like, because I feel bad about wasting water. And then I'm like, you know what? Who cares? You're crying. You're allowed. I always feel so bad about wasting water because I'm like, we're so grateful for the water that we have.
How long of a shower do you take?
I don't know. Sometimes when I'm like washing my hair or whatever, it's like a 20-minute shower. Oh, and then sometimes you just stand there and like be like warm and like cry. And it's like, and then I feel bad after I get out of the shower because I wasted it.
Oh, whatever. What's worse, taking a longer shower or like taking a bath every day?
Exactly. I don't know. We should look that up. Yeah. What the actual thing is.
No offense. If you want to take a bath every day, you do you.
Live your life.
I'm not judging.
No, but there is like certain statistics like that, like starting and stopping your car. Is it true? Like it uses like more gas.
Oh God,
than
I hope
idling?
not, because I have that feature on my car.
Do you really?
Yeah,
when
I sit at a light, The engine shuts off
I don't
and
like
then
that.
it starts again. I sometimes turn it off.
So
I can press a button and turn that
I've
off.
heard that it uses more gas than if you were idling. But then what I've also heard is that if every car had that feature, the amount of carbon dioxide that would be like not released into the environment would be astronomical.
Yeah.
Like it would greatly reduce our carbon emissions if every vehicle had that feature.
Absolutely. And it's not like, well, I don't have like a hybrid or anything like that. Like my engine shuts off if I'm stopped for a certain amount of time.
A lot of vehicles
but
have
I mean, you know, if you're stuck in traffic, if you have like a hybrid, like a Prius or something, then you don't use gas if you're going slow.
Right.
But
I'd like a hybrid or an electric car.
Yeah.
I didn't know that your car had that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's kind of annoying.
That's good to know.
I turn it off sometimes.
Well, I've heard that it can be really difficult, especially when you're pulling into an intersection and then you stop to turn left and it kind of changes the momentum.
Oh, I haven't had that problem.
Yeah, my uncle said that because his car, he had that, and he's like, the first time I ever used it, he goes, it was really weird getting used to, because when you go into the intersection and you stop waiting to turn left, then you go to press on the gas and it has to start your engine again. So you almost kind of like jolt a little bit.
Mine doesn't do that. So if you take your foot off of the brake, it starts your engine. You don't have to even.
See. Okay.
It's like it happens before you even touch the gas.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily even really notice.
No, not at all.
But no, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably wrap
This
it
has
up.
been a little bit of a longer episode.
Yeah, we're at 1 minute and 5 minutes right now, so it's not too bad.
1 minute and 5 minutes.
I was going to say minute and 5 seconds, and then I caught myself. Okay, this Aperol Spritz is
really
just going
getting to her.
to my head already. I was just going to say it again. 1 hour and 5 minutes. Okay, this has been great.
Okay.
Great episode. Please stay tuned for our future ones. We'll have more in-depth conversations like this.
Yes, we will be back next week and we'll chat about our garden party.
Yes, I'm excited about our garden party. We'll have lots of good stories to talk about.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks for listening.
Okay.
Find us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok.
Yes.
Bitches in Business.
Bitches in Business without the I.
That's correct.
And our Instagram.
Allie doesn't know what she's talking about. The Aperol Spritz has gone to her head too.
Instagram at Allie Morrison.
And at ShareRoad.y.